Okay, let's wait for someone to join. Good evening, everyone. In the meantime, welcome for those who are listening to me on streaming. I'm not Stefano Cobello, of course. I'm Maria Pia. So let's correct the name. Here we are. Let's wait for a couple of minutes to see if somebody can join. I got a lot of text messages saying, I'm so sorry, I can't come today. I'm sorry, I've got a school meeting today. I'm so sorry, Maria Pia, but I'm going to watch you afterwards, at home. So I'm wondering if there will be somebody coming after all. But in any case, the lesson will be made all the same, because I know there are people attending the lesson on streaming, and I know there are many of you who cannot be present at the actual lesson, but are going to watch it afterwards. So I'm going to hold it all the same. But let's wait and see if somebody's coming after all. What I wanted to do today is to talk a little bit more about the reading part of the Cambridge test for B1, of course. This is lesson level B1. So for B1, well, I think I can start. It's already 5 minutes past. So I think I'll go. Yes, let's start. Now let's share the screen. Oh, there's somebody coming. For B1, what's this? Hi, Anna Maria, welcome. I was wondering, is somebody coming today?
I arrived 1 minute ago at home.
Yeah, just arrived home, sorry. Oh, thank you for being with me. I know, I got a lot of text messages. Saying, I'm so sorry, Maria, I can't be with you today. I've got a school meeting. I'm so sorry for this. I'm so sorry for that. So I was really wondering, will somebody come after all? But
please, a moment, please. I take.
Yes.
My...
No problems. I'm sure somebody else is going to join anyway. Poor Anna Maria just got home and straight into the lesson. I know it's a hard period for all teachers. We're so full of things to do and to think about. And but come on, couple of weeks more and then we'll have Easter holiday. So keep up, everyone. What's a beautiful orchid Anna Maria has on her shelf. Wow. I wonder if it's true or false. I think it's true. So, okay, let's go back to what I was supposed to do. Yes, my idea was for today to have another look at the reading part of the test, of the Cambridge B1 test. And then from next time, we'll start to talk about the listening part. And in this way, we'll have covered all the 4 parts. And then afterwards, we'll have to decide if it's better to do the paper-based exam or the computer-based exam. We will see the differences. it's the same test, no difference as regards as the difficulty, the level of the test, but there are some differences in how to manage the test. And so I would like to tell you about, you know, the various possibilities, and so that you can freely decide what's best for you. If it's better for you to do the paper-based test or the computer-based test. In any case, oh, Sarah is coming as well. In any case, even if you do the computer-based test, hi, Sarah, you'll have to go there to the center. In any case, you cannot do the computer-based test from home. You will have to go there in person, and you'll be given a computer. Hi, Sarah, welcome.
Hi, thank you.
I was wondering, is somebody coming today?
Sorry, I just finished.
Yes, I know.
Job
I
at school.
And by the way, I wanted also to tell you, if you mean to come tomorrow as well, that tomorrow we're starting at 5:30, 5:30, half an hour after, because I have I have a conference before. I'm
Yes.
you know, talking about women in Verona, you know, all along the history of the city.
Wonderful.
Wonderful, yes, at the Hauser in Borgo Roma. And, you know, they booked me in October, but they didn't tell me the time.
Once upon a time.
And when they told me the time, I said, no, sorry, I can't, because at 5 o'clock I have a lesson. And they, you know, came, I don't know, out of the blue saying, but you cannot not come. We told everyone. What do you mean you told everyone? You should have told me first. Anyway, so I said, okay, I think for once, even if we start half an hour later, I hope it's okay.
Tomorrow,
no problem.
Tomorrow is a B.
Which
But of course, if you want to come,
B1.
you're very welcome, no problems. Anyone is welcome anytime, because I'm realizing how difficult it is for all teachers, you know, to attend the lessons. So whenever you're free, you're very welcome to join. Whatever it's your level or not, don't worry, because we can adapt the lesson to your level, to your needs, to your questions, to your difficulties. So don't worry. You can come tomorrow if you want to. Anyway,
may I ask a question?
Sure.
I have received your email regarding the certificate at the end of the course.
Yes.
I am attending both B1 and B2, but at the beginning, attending only B1. So I would like to know if I have reached the 70% of the B1.
75% of the total number of
75%.
lessons. Yes. You can
May I ask you by mail?
You can get both certificates, but
it's okay. Also one, no problem.
Or one with the total amount of hours, no problems, whatever you want to.
Ah, okay.
I sent that email because I realized that many of you signed the presence, but they were not registered in both lessons, B1A and B1B. And so if you sign for B1B and you're not registered for B1B, that lesson doesn't count for the certification, you know. So that's I wrote those, that's why I decided to write that email. That's why I wrote those emails saying, please be careful, because if you want all the lessons to be counted, you have to register to have applied to both lessons.
Okay. So to be sure, I will apply to all.
Yeah, you apply to both lessons, B1A and B1B, And then you can ask to have one certificate with the total number of lessons, or to have two certificates with the number of lessons B1A and B1B. But in any case, it will be the total number of lessons. If you applied only for one of them, you know, it's automatic, it's computer based. So the computer will only count the lessons you attended on that specific, you know, course, B1A, for example. And all the lessons you attended on B12 will be lost. So that's why I told you, I sent you that email. Please make sure you applied to the correct, you know, course. Both of them, if you're attending both. Hi, Sabrina, welcome. Sabrina.
Hi, Maria Pia.
Hello.
Hi, everyone.
How
Hi,
are you?
hello.
Everything okay?
I'm very tired.
Me too. Me too.
Yeah,
Everybody's
this period
very
is very busy, it's very hard.
I know.
time. Yes.
I know.
But I'm happy to follow your lessons.
Thank you. Thank you for being
I
here.
love your lessons.
Thanks a
Make me
lot.
happy. Yes.
And I love you more.
Thank you.
Because I know how it's a hard job for you to be here with me, and so I thank you really very much, really.
I find always time to follow with your lessons. Yes.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. I'm really moved.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Now, my idea today, if it's okay for you, would be to have a last look at the reading part of the, what is it? How here it is, condividi, share. Reading part of the exam. And then from next time, we'll start with the listening part, and then we'll have covered all the 4 parts. And then we'll have to see the difference between a paper-based exam and a computer-based exam, and so that you can freely decide which one would be best for you. And according to the ones, to the one you want to do, I can give you examples. We can have examples, you know, in practice of a paper-based and of a computer-based exam. But one thing at a time. Let's have a second look at the reading part today. So the reading part, do you remember, is composed of 6 different sections, parts. In part 1, all the parts have the same value, the same marks. Each question is counted 1 mark. So 1 mark for each correct question in all the parts of the exam. Now, in part 1, you are given 5 images. They are text messages, signs, notes, letters, emails, different kind of, you know, writings, and 3 sentences, A, B, and C, and you have to decide which one is corresponds best to you know, the image. Okay, so for example, this is an email to Jack from Rick. Hi, what time is the school basketball match tomorrow? I thought it was at 5, but I'm not sure. Give me a call when you can. Bye. So the questions are: A, Jack thinks the match is at 5. Could be. I thought it was at 5, but I'm not sure. Okay. B, Jack, no, wait a second. No, because the sender here is Rick. Rick is writing, I thought it was at 5, to Jack. No, so A is wrong. B, Jack doesn't know when the match is on. We don't know. No reply from Jack, so we don't know. It's Rick who doesn't know exactly. See, Rick doesn't know when the match is on. Okay, so the correct answer is
C.
Sì.
Okay, so you see, be careful because they're very cheeky. If you don't realize, if you didn't realize that it was the email was from Rick to Jack, you would have easily, you know, been mistaken. So you have to be very, very careful. In any case, you'll have, I think, 40 or 45 minutes for the whole text. So you have time. Don't worry about the time, at first at least. So try and concentrate and be very careful. Now let's try number 2. Number 2 is a note, a message. Do you want to read it? Anna Maria, do you want to read it?
I try. Okay. Jim, could you do me a favor and take the frozen fish out of the freezer and put it into the fridge when you get in? Thanks, love, Mom.
Exactly.
Okay.
So it's from Mom to Jim. Could you do me a favor and take the frozen fish out of the freezer and put it into the fridge when you get in? Thanks. So Mom wants Jim to buy some frozen fish.
No.
No.
Mom wants Jim to do something.
Yes.
Jim wants Mom to freeze the fish. No.
No.
So the correct answer is
B.
B. Okay. Do you want to read this one, Sarah?
Yes, okay, thank you.
Fine.
50% off for all pizzas ordered before 7 in the evening.
Right. 50% off. What does it mean?
The there is a discount of 50% if you order the pizza before the 7 o'clock p.m.
Exactly. So, A, you only get half a pizza before 7 p.m.
No, because you're a diet.
Are more expensive after 7 p.m.
Yes.
Could be, could be.
Could be.
You get 50% more pizza before 7 p.m. No.
No,
So
B.
the correct answer is B.
B.
Okay. Pizzas are more expensive after 7 p.m. because before 7 p.m. you pay 50% less. Okay. So, Sabrina, would you like to read this one?
Yes, okay, I try. Check the brakes on your bike before going downhill to avoid accidents.
Yes. Check the brakes on your bike before going downhill to
avoid accidents. Okay?
Yes.
You could get hurt if you don't do something. You will have an accident here. You can have your brakes checked here. Hey, you could get hurt if you don't do something.
If you don't check your brakes and go downhill, you could get hurt.
You could get hurt.
Okay.
Yes.
You will have an accident? No. You can have your brakes checked here?
Here, no.
But look, there are the same words, brakes and check. So you have to brakes and check. So you have to be very careful because they are very tricky.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is another sign. Who wants to read it? Anna Maria, is it your turn? You go.
Okay. Warning. Seat belts must always worn when the bus is moved.
Yes, seat belts must always be worn when the bus is moving. Okay, you must wear seat belt. Do you know what seat belts are?
Yes, yes.
Come si chiamano in italiano?
Cintura di sicurezza.
Di sicurezza. So they must always be worn when the bus is moving.
Okay.
So
You are not allowed to get on the bus here. No, you may have to wear the seat belt if the bus is. You have to follow this. B, I think.
You're not allowed to get on the bus here.
No.
You may have to wear a seat belt if the bus is moving.
No.
Must always wear a seat belt. So
you have
not correct.
Yes.
You have to follow the instructions on this bus. Yes.
Yes.
And the instructions are wearing seat belts must be always worn when the bus is moving. Okay, but again, you see where seat belt, bus moving, you know.
Almost the same sentence.
Exactly. If you're not very careful, you see, oh, this is it, because there are the same words. So don't be cheated. Don't look at the single words. Look at the meaning of the advertising or whatever is it. Now, part 2. In part 2, oh yes, part 2 is very time demanding. Richiede molto tempo. So, if you feel better, skip it. Se vi sentite meglio, saltatela. Go straight to part 3 e andate direttamente alla parte 3. Because all the exercises, all the questions have the same value. Every question, you get 1 mark for every correct question. So it's better to do the quickest one first, the quickest, oh my God, I can't talk anymore. The quickest ones first, and then go back to the more time requiring ones. Because if you spend half of your time with the part 2, then you might have no time enough to do part 5 and 6. And there are more marks if you do part 5 and 6 instead of part 2. So let's keep part 2 for the moment. Let's go straight to part 3. Part 3 is a text. You read it and there are some questions. Again, A, B, C, or D to choose. Now, the good news is that the questions are in order. So you can read passage 1, part 1 of the text, and then go to question 1. Then read passage 2 and go to question 2, and so on and so on. So, who wants to read it?
I think it's my turn.
Yes, please.
The title, graphene. If
Graphene.
you look, graphene.
I have no idea, but maybe if we read it, then we will understand.
Okay. If you look at our planet from space, it looks blue because there is so much water on it. There is, however, a very big problem. Although 70% of the Earth is covered in water, a very small amount of it is available for people to drink, because most of it is seawater, which contains salt and humans and animals can't drink water with salt in it. At the moment, over 780 million people around the world do not have easy access to clean water. The problems are only expected to get worse with climate change and the fact that maybe there is another word. No, the fact that the world population is increasing.
Exactly. Now, climate change, and I can remember planet. If you look at our planet from space, it looks blue because there's so much water on it. There is, however, a very big problem. Although 70% of the Earth is covered in water, a very small amount of it is available for people to drink, because most of it is seawater, which contains salt, and humans and animals can't drink water with salt in it. At the moment, over 780 million people. After 100, you need and 780 million people around the world do not have easy access to clean water. The problems are only expected to get worse with the climate change and the fact that the world population is increasing. Okay, so questions. The problem of not having enough drinking water is being studied by many people. Will soon be solved. Will be more serious in the future. Can never be remedied. What do you think? C, yes, will be more serious in the future because they say the population is growing and with the climate change, there will be less water available. Okay, so C, yes. Perfect. So let's go on. I'm curious to know what graphene is. Okay.
Hello.
Hi, Christina, welcome.
Hi. How are you?
Hi, fantastic, thank you. We're all very tired, but keeping on.
Okay, very good.
And Maria Pia, we do not sign in.
You're right, I have to send you the sign form. Okay, I'll look for it afterwards. So let's finish this part. Okay, so whose turn is it? That was Sarah, so whose turn is it? Christina Sabrina, how silly of me, I didn't remember. Sabrina, can you go on, please?
A scientist, Raoul Nair, has been working on a clever solution for the past few years. He has been studying new methods. New methods of getting the salt out of the water using something new called graphene. This wonder material is a single layer of tightly packed carbon atoms, which is harder than a diamond, 200 times stronger than steel, 1 million times thinner than a piece of human hair, and extremely flexible. It can be used for many things, from medicine to energy, electronics, and even removing salt from seawater.
Exactly. Wow, how interesting. Okay,
yes.
So do you want me to read it again, or is it okay?
No.
Is it okay?
Okay, we can go to the question.
Okay. Graphene is
valuable because it has multiple uses. For one specific use, because it's difficult to produce, because it comes from diamonds, is valuable.
What do you think?
For me, is A because there's
Yes.
multiple
It's
uses.
valuable because it has
It has multiple uses.
Remember what it said? It said
Multiple uses.
This wonder material is
It can be used for many things, from medicine to energy, electronics, and even removing salt from seawater. Yes.
Exactly.
A.
So A. Perfect.
Yeah.
Christina, do you want to go on?
Okay, now the research
This
team
one, the
thinks,
material provided.
excuse me, the material provided to be excellent and taking out all the more things that float around and the most of the salt from the water. However, there was a problem when it was used with water. When used in this way, the water helps it to swell and widen its hole, and so it becomes possible for some of the smallest piece of salt to get through, and the water was no longer drinkable.
Okay, sorry, I made a mistake here because I was looking. The material proved to be excellent at taking out all the small things that float around and most of the salt from the water. However, there was a problem when it was used with water. When used in this way, the water caused it to swell and widens its holes. And so it became impossible for some of the smallest pieces of salt to get through, and the water was no longer drinkable. So, what problem does graphene have? A, it tears easily. Now, B, it is very expensive. Doesn't say so. C, it dissolves in hot water. No. It is less effective when wet.
It is less effective when wet?
Yes, è meno efficace quando è bagnato. Because, do you remember, when it's wet, it swells, si gonfia, and widens its holes, e amplia I buchi. And so, it became possible for some of the smallest pieces of salt to get through, and the water was no longer drinkable. Okay? Okay, who wants to go on? Lisa? No.
Right?
Elisabetta. Hi, Elisabetta.
Hi, Maria. Hi.
Okay, so do you want to finish the text from now?
If you want.
Yes.
Now the research team thinks it has managed to control the problem. They have found a clever way to limit the swelling by covering the material with a special resin. This only allows fresh, drinkable water to get through the tiny holes. The scientists believe that the ability to carefully control the hole size will open up opportunities for this material to be used in other ways. If they are right, the world's drinking water problem could be solved, and that is very good news for many people.
Exactly. Okay, allows.
Allows.
And control. Okay. So, okay, let's go to the question. The scientists feel that graphene's problems with water are a serious limitation. Have been solved. Mean the products will never be useful. Has led to another invention.
B.
B, have been solved because, let's read it again. The research team thinks it has managed to control the problem. They have found a clever way to limit the swelling by covering the material with a special resin. This only allows fresh, drinkable water to get through the tiny holes. The scientists believe that the ability to carefully control the hole size will open up opportunities for this material to be used in other ways. If they are right, the world's drinking water problem could be solved. That is very good news for many people. Okay, so they have managed to control the problem. So, with water have been solved. Okay, B.
Yes.
Finally, there's a final question, which is normally this one. What would be a good introduction to this article? Sometimes the question is, what would be a good title for this article? Okay. In this case, what would be a good introduction to this article? Possibility A. Science. Do you want to read? Volete leggere voi, Anna Maria o qualcun altro?
Okay.
Vai.
Science has come to the rescue of the planet to produce all the fresh drinking water it needs without much trouble. The people who went without in the past now don't need to suffer.
Could be. Could be. Let's go and see B.
A scientist has managed.
Scientist
has managed to solve the world shortage of fresh drinking water by using diamonds in a very clever way.
Clever way. No, it's not by using diamonds, is it? So no, this is not good. See?
Graphene is a new solution for the old problem of increasing the amount of fresh drinking water for the world's population.
But could be. Graphene is a new solution for the old problem of increasing the amount of fresh drinking water for the world's population. Fresh drinking water. But could be. Let's go with D.
Carbon is being used to treat large quantities of salt water to produce drinking water for areas which don't have enough.
Yes, enormi, huge quantities, quantità. Quindi carbon is being used to treat huge quantities of salt water to produce drinking water for areas which don't have enough. I don't think they are already using it, so no. I'm a little, I wonder whether it's B or, no, sorry, A or
B.
Let's read A again. Science has come to the rescue of the planet to produce all the fresh drinking water it needs without much trouble. The people who went without in the past now don't need to suffer. And C, graphene is a new solution for the old problem of increasing the amount of fresh drinking water for the world's population. What do you suggest, A or C?
For me, C.
For me, C, but
For me, C.
Yes. Personally, I would lean towards C, anch'io sarei più inclinata, mi inclinerei più verso la C, però la potrebbe anche non essere sbagliata. Anyway, let's see what's the correct answer. 1C, 2A, 3B, 4B, 5C. Okay, 1C, 2A.
All right.
C, 2A, okay. 1C, 2A, 3D, 4B, 3D, okay, 4B, okay, and 5C, okay, 5C. Because this final part, the people who went without in the past now don't need to suffer. Maybe it's a little bit far-fetched, if you know what I mean. So yes, C. Okay, so that's the. Shall I cover the answers again, or shall I leave it? Maybe I'll leave it. Okay. Part 4. In part 4, there are some sentences you need to add to the text. So, who wants to read? Whose turn is it? Chi vuole leggere? A chi tocca? Dunque, Sara Cristina, whose turn is it? A chi tocca? Beh, ricominciamo allora, Anna Maria.
Okay. Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day is here again, and some wonder why everyone gets so excited. It happens every year on February 14. This sweet celebration is all about people being in love. They can
need to add something here, but let's read a little bit more. They can say what
they want to the person they want, and very often in secret, which is a lot more fun.
Okay, so
Millions.
No, it's okay. Just to have an idea what could be the correct sentence to insert between this one and the other one. This sweet celebration is all about people being in love. They can say what they want to the person they want. Okay, let's look at the sentences. So he decided to break the rules? No. They held it in February? No. During the festivities, boys drew the names of girls from a container. No. It allows romantics everywhere to stop hiding. Could be.
Potrebbe essere.
The Catholic Church doesn't recognize, it doesn't matter. He sent it to his no. Today, billions of dollars are spent on no. They explain why he invented the holiday. No. So the only possibility is it allows romantics everywhere to stop hiding. Okay? So this sweet celebration is all about people being in love. It allows romantics everywhere to stop hiding. They can say what they want to the person they want, and very often in secret, which is a lot more fun. Ok? Permette ai romantici, dovunque siano, di smettere di nascondersi. Ok? Possono dire quello che vogliono, a chi vogliono, eccetera, eccetera. È un modo per così fare una dichiarazione d'amore senza rimetterci troppo la faccia se quell'altro dice di no, ecco. Ok, who wants to go on?
The holiday we know today got its name from a man named Valentine, who some people say was a priest and some say was a soldier, but nobody really knows. There are a few different stories told about him.
Read also the other sentence.
Okay.
Because you have to put something in between.
In one story, he was a soldier in the normal army, and in another, he is famous for his role as a Roman priest who helped the couple secretly get married because it was against the law.
Okay, so there are a few different stories told about him. Okay. So he decided to break the rules? No. They held it in February? No. During the festivities, boys drew the names? No. The Catholic Church doesn't recognize St. Bernard? No. He sent it to? No. Today billions of dollars are spent? No. They explain why he invented? Yes, exactly. There are a few different stories told about him. They explain why he invented the holiday.
Explain why.
Ci sono varie storie che spiegano perché lui ha inventato questa festa. Ok? Sì, non avevi letto questa frase qui. Millions of flowers are sold all over the world, especially red roses. Okay? So the holiday we know today got its name from a man named Valentine, who some people say was a priest and some say was a soldier, but nobody really knows. There are a few different stories told about him. They explain why he invented the holiday. Okay? So, who wants to go on?
In one story, he was a soldier in the Roman army, and in another, he is famous for his roles as a Roman priest who helped couples secretly get married because it was against the law. As the story goes, Emperor Claudius II of Rome didn't allow marriage because he thought men who were single made better soldiers. He didn't want his soldiers thinking about their girlfriend back home. Valentine thought it was unfair. He performed marriage anyway. He knew.
Okay.
And
so, as the story goes, Emperor Claudius II of Rome, anche se non c'è scritto bisogna leggere the second, Emperor Claudius II of Rome didn't allow, perché tutti leggono? Allow marriages, because he thought men who were single made better soldiers. He didn't want his soldiers thinking about their girlfriends back home. Okay. Ancora fino a poco fa, in realtà, i soldati fino a 40 anni non potevano sposarsi perché pensavano che se un soldato si fosse sposato, le sue precedenze, cioè dava la precedenza alla famiglia, questo e quello, e invece che al lavoro di soldato. E quindi i soldati non potevano sposarsi fino a 40 anni, ma fino a poco tempo fa in realtà, fino all'impero austro-ungarico non potevano sposarsi fino a 40 anni, quindi fino al XIX secolo di sicuro. Okay, so he didn't want his soldiers thinking about their girlfriends back home. Valentine thought this was unfair. He performed marriages anyway. Okay. So he decided to break the rules.
Yes.
Could be. Ok, questa va benissimo.
No, he decided to break the rules.
Exactly. Valentine thought this was unfair, so he decided to break the rules. And he performed marriages anyway. Okay? Okay. Who wants to go on?
May I go on?
Yes, please, Sarah.
He performed. Yes. He performed marriage anyway.
Hello. Sarah, I don't know. I can't hear you very well.
He would get
Can you hear Sarah? Sorry, everyone. Can you hear Sarah?
Because there is some problem with the connection.
Yes, I can't hear her very well.
Can you hear now?
Yes, try now.
Okay. Sorry, because I think I had some problem with the connection.
Yeah, okay. Can you start again? He performed a marriage.
He performed marriage anyway. He knew that this was dangerous and that if the emperor found out, he would get in trouble.
If the emperor found out, he would get in trouble.
He kept the ceremonies quiet, but it was finally caught and later killed on February 14 of the year 270 for not doing what the emperor wanted. Right before he died, Valentine wrote a letter.
Okay, yes, the emperor, and he was finally caught, and later killed on February the 14th. The 14th of the year 270. Okay. Right before he died, Valentine wrote a letter. He had fallen in love with her. Okay. He wrote a letter. They had no. During the festivities, no. It allowed no. The Catholic Church, no. He sent it.
He sent it to
his jailer's daughter. Could be. Today, billions of no. Okay. He sent it to his jailer's daughter. Ok, ha scritto questa lettera e l'ha mandata alla figlia del suo carceriere. He had fallen in love with her. Okay, who wants to go on?
I try. Okay.
Hi.
He fall in love with her because she used to visit him in prison, and this was the first ever Valentine card. The celebration surrounding this day actually started many years before the Romans came along. Then the Roma arrived and decided it was their festival. After that, people thought the Romans had invented it.
So then the Romans arrived and decided it was their festival. After that, people thought, okay, so this is already taken. They held it in February. During the festivities, boys drew now. It allows romantic is already taken. The Catholic Church doesn't recognize no. He sent it already taken. Today, billions of dollars are spent no. They explain why he invented the holiday. So the best choice would be B. They held it in February. Okay, the celebration surrounding this day actually started many years before the Romans came along. Then the Romans arrived and decided it was their festival.
I can't hear anything.
Maria is
Maria Pia, we can't.
Maria?
It's out.
Ma boh. Non so.
Non aveva ancora inserito, vero, per la firma oggi? Maria.
No, gliel'avevo chiesto anche prima, ma si aveva detto lo faccio dopo.
Sì, siamo partite con...
Ma la sentite Maria Pia voi, no?
No, no, no,
No.
non c'è più, è proprio sparita anche dallo
Ah, ecco.
schermo.
È uscita.
Avrà perso la connessione o...
Oh, aspettiamo, tornerà dentro. Non arriva. No, non c'è più. È uscita proprio.
Ha mandato un messaggio, penso, in web. Ok. Avete colto?
No,
Su Weber ha messo un messaggio vocale che ha avuto problemi col computer,
ah,
per cui ha detto di avere un attimo di pazienza.
va bene, grazie.
E eravate qua alle 5 o è adesso che entra?
No, no, eravamo qua alle
Ah,
5.
si è staccata? No, no, io purtroppo appunto avevo una riunione, quindi sono entrata adesso.
No, no.
Però era quello.
No,
Chiedevo
no, abbiamo
se il
fatto già un
problema
paio
l'aveva avuto anche prima o se...
abbiamo già fatto un paio di esercizi legati al reading.
Sì,
alla
bene, dai,
lettura.
che adesso chiedo di mandarmi di nuovo
Scusa,
link.
non aveva scritto lei che le lezioni oggi cominciavano alle 5:30?
No,
No, quelle
domani.
di domani.
Ah,
Domani.
domani. Ah.
Infatti all'inizio ci ha intrattenuto con 2 chiacchiere alle 5 e 2 minuti così per aspettare.
Perché tanti l'avevano frainteso.
Infatti come me,
No,
certo.
no, io è perché appunto ci è capitato un incontro imprevisto, di solito ogni tanto capita, insomma, dai.
Appunto diceva che chi vuole partecipare si senta libero, B1 o B2, solito. Per me è già difficile partecipare.
Esatto. No, che infatti io avevo scelto B1, a parte il livello super basico che ho, che B1 è già tanto, ma anche perché è di martedì, che quindi ogni tanto mi può capitare l'incontro, ma il mercoledì sarebbe stato proprio standard, no? Quindi non avrei mai potuto essere presente. Ma ogni tanto può capitare, arrivo in ritardo, vado via prima, così, ma...
Io ho difficoltà anche gli esercizi, mi propongo sempre, ma mancabilmente i giorni non riesco.
No, anche perché io avevo delle date, avevo ancora le date quelle distanziate, che allora c'era più tempo. Così no. Allora. Vediamo se... Ecco, la parte reading la preferisco allo speaking, perché lo speaking proprio ho un
Sì, è
blocco
vero.
che proprio mi si attorciglia la lingua.
Perché l'abbiamo imparato probabilmente in età...
Ma magari quando altre due parlano, a me verrebbe la risposta e quando tocca a me basta,
Sì.
cioè proprio comincio, cioè pensa che mi vengono delle parole in spagnolo, perché avevo fatto anche un po' di spagnolo, no? Allora mi si attorcigliano un po' le cose, non viene più fuori nulla.
Ma non sei la sola, non sei la sola.
Ma sento che in tante siete capaci di superare questo scoglio. Vabbè. Vanessa Fraccaroli.
Sì.
Quando fai una talea della tua pianta, me ne dai un pezzo?
Guarda, sta andando sempre più su.
Quando fai una talea.
Te la porto, te la invio.
Dove sei?
Terribile, guarda.
Dove abiti tu?
Io abito a San Vito, a Bussolengo.
Ottimo, io
Verona.
sono a Saval, quindi San Vito. Vengo
Quando
in bicicletta.
passo? Sì. Sì, guarda, l'ho già tagliata, lei continua a andare in su. Tu che soffitto ormai.
Ecco, dai. Tieni presente Milena Venturi quando mi mandi i messaggini.
Certo, volentieri.
C'è stata un'altra signora, vedi, fossimo capaci di parlare inglese, parleremo inglese.
Sì, ciao.
Sì.
Che ha fatto una talea, ma ha dato una talea che era lunga 1 metro, quindi era già una pianta. Ha detto che appunto cresce talmente veloce che ormai le toccava il soffitto e quindi l'aveva tagliata molto lunga, insomma.
Non ho avuto il coraggio di tagliarla troppo bassa, ma ho sbagliato, perché veramente è andata oltre.
Invece lei appunto ne ha fatte due, una così lunga e un'altra un po' meno. Ha detto...
Veramente alla luce sta bene, sta proprio bene in quel posto, ha la sua luce.
È il suo, è vero?
Sì.
Adesso ho il cactus qua, mi hanno dato un pezzettino di cactus, vediamo se arriva, se si appiccica.
Sì, hai proprio l'opunzia.
Sì, qui ti faccio vedere.
Quella che fa le pale.
Sì, questa.
Sì, sì, guarda quella lì. Cioè io avevo appunto una con tante pale così, e una l'avevo messa appoggiata proprio in una vasca vicino alla chiesa, che ho detto almeno non sapevo più dove buttarle, l'ho messa lì. Aveva fatto le radici, ma messa lì accanto proprio senza che nessuno la guardasse.
Senza tante cure, è vero? Me
Sì,
l'hanno data
proprio.
sabato, vediamo se riesco, perché mi piacciono tanto i cactus.
Penso che ne avevo trovato uno con tante pale buttato lì vicino a un cassonetto. Ho detto wow, bello.
Hai buttato via. L'hai preso?
Sì, sì, l'ho preso.
Vabbè, fatto bene.
Vabbè,
È un peccato.
Era bello cicciotto anche.
Vediamo se riusciamo a ricominciare.
Vediamo se... Ne ha mandato un altro, vediamo. Ah no, ma uno era prima. Oggi sì, era questo prima.
Pronto? Ah, buonasera, buonasera, scusi. Certo. Ah, è di pomeriggio, non mi trovavo qui. Ah, va bene, va bene. Sì. Vabbè, ma che documentazione deve portare gli amici? Ah, sì, va bene, ok, ok. Sì, 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 ok. Va bene. Ce l'ha anche lei? No, sì, sì, esatto. La ringrazio. La vedo male, eh?
Potrebbe provare a cambiare Meet? No, Zoom è lì.
Oh, here we are. Can you see me?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, I don't know what happened. It crashed. Simply, you know, stop image. The image was stopped, and I couldn't hear you anymore. And oh, I'm very sorry for this.
Maria Pia,
Yes.
I've done now, and
Hi.
please
Hello.
for a link.
Hi,
Present.
Milena. Hello.
Hi.
Hi, Vanessa. Hi, everyone.
Hi.
I'm very sorry. I don't know what happened. Now, before we go on, and
may post the link for present?
yes, for the presence. Yes, before going on and before something else happens, I'm going to post the link for the presence. Sorry. Oh, Signor. My God. And it's so slow. It's so slow. It's incredible.
Mm-mm.
It's not working properly.
Mm.
I hope I don't have to buy a new computer because I've got everything in here. I'll be dead without this computer.
You
Come
don't have an
on,
external
come on.
hard disk?
Non credo comunque sia il computer, perché noi oggi avevamo, infatti per quello sono in ritardo, un incontro, diciamo, col comune, insomma, diciamo così, e loro proprio non riuscivano neanche con il tecnico informatico, siamo dovuti dar noi, abbiamo dato il nostro link, altrimenti, quindi c'è qualcosa
So
che
you
magari
think
blocca
it's
le connessioni, sì.
The war, the Russians.
Yes.
Oh no.
Please, no.
Poor Russians. It's always their fault. Poverina, adesso si dà la colpa di tutto. Okay, so here's the link. Can you see it in the
Yes.
chat?
Thank you.
If you want to sign your presence.
Thanks.
And let's see if we can go back. Hi, Vanessa. What a beautiful picture of a heart.
Thank
It's
you.
a very nice picture. Now let's see
Thank you very much.
if I can go back to the document I had. Now let's find the document again. I'm so sorry.
It's terrible.
Yes, it's terrible. I was desperate. I called my daughter. I called my niece. Please help me. I don't know what to do.
Awful.
So, report B1. Come on. See, it's so incredibly slow. But I don't think it's, I don't know if it's a problem of the computer. Now, I think we were doing number 4. Yes, I think we were doing number 4. If it's a problem of the computer, I'm really desperate because I've got everything in here. All my life is based on this computer. And if it really crashes completely, look, so slow. Okay, let's, okay, right, more or less. What's he doing? What's it doing? Okay, this is what we were using. campo, salva. Abiliti contenuto, fa che cazzo che te vuoi, basta che te funzioni. Reading example 4. Vabbè. Facciamo 4.2, no? Salva tutto. Oh my God, sorry.
It isn't your fault.
Non è possibile salvarlo. E vabbè.
Impossible.
E allora non salvarlo, posso che ti dica mi. Okay. Now we were doing another example
sorry.
of the reading part of the text,
Pronto?
Cambridge test.
Pronto?
And in this part, we were reading
meno
the
male.
text
Mhm.
and deciding, okay, this is part 4.
Oh,
And in
signore.
part
Non l'ho ancora
4,
visto.
you're supposed to read a text and insert some sentences. And these are sentences, and we were, you know, seeing what to do, which one to insert.
Vabbè.
But we already,
Ok.
we had
ciao,
already
Bobby.
finished it.
Ciao.
We just wanted to check. Okay, there's no answer though. Anyway, so this was finished. Now let's go to part 5. In part 5, you are supposed to write a word, choosing it from A, B, C, or D at the bottom. Okay, so who wants to read it? Okay, who wants to read it? Chi vuole leggere? Qualcuno che non ha ancora letto? I would say. Okay.
Io non ho ancora letto, ma se qualcun altro...
Okay, you go.
Bravery. Dogs may be cute, but they confuse a lot of people about exactly what they are. They may bark, dogs, because that's how they got their name, but the little guys...
Oh, sorry, wait a second.
Qua c'è da mettere qualcosa.
Oh, I am live, okay. Yes, so prairie dogs may be cute. I cani della prateria may be cute, but they confuse a lot of people about exactly what they are. They may bark.
Some
dogs. They may bark.
As.
Allora, as è più in qualità di, come cani, like. They may bark like dogs. Vediamo se è giusto. They may bark like, yes, like dogs.
No.
Because that's how they got their name. They are called the prairie dogs because they bark like dogs. Okay? Go on.
But the little guys are actually rodents, not canines.
Canines.
What's the meaning? What's the meaning?
Ma i piccoli sono in realtà
dei roditori.
Come si chiama in italiano? Roditori. Non canini.
They can up to 15
inches long
and are much more closely related to squirrels than
to dogs. Okay, they can up to 15 inches long and are much more closely related to squirrels than to dogs. Okay, possono
grow up.
Grow up.
Okay, grow. They can grow up to 15 inches long. Possono crescere, vediamo se è giusto. Yes, grow up to 15 inches long and are much more closely related to squirrels. Do you know squirrels?
Yes.
Scoiattoli.
Ah,
sono più strettamente correlati agli scoiattoli than to dogs. Ok? Ok. Go on.
Family is very to prior dogs, and their family groups can contain up to 26 individuals. Io non vedo le parole.
Family is very to prairie dogs.
Numerosa, non vedo le parole io.
Neanche io.
Very, very, very large, very large.
Similar, no?
Very large to, ma si salva, fa quello che vuoi.
Very similar prior dogs.
Oddio, adesso lo fa. Allora, ok. So, family is very attached to them, to prairie dogs, and their family groups can contain up to 26 individuals. They share food, groom each other. So family is very...
Could be similar.
Very, what? Sorry?
Similar. No.
No, la famiglia è molto per i cani della prateria e i loro gruppi familiari possono contenere
Important.
Molto importante, important.
I would say important.
Utile, importante.
Important, yes. Important. Ah.
Pensabile.
Important, yes. Family is very important to prairie dogs, and their family groups can contain up to 26 individuals. Who wants to go on? Chi vuole continuare?
They share food, groom each other, and even one another by touching each other's noses.
Okay, they share food, groom each other, and even one another by touching each other's noses. And even kiss one another by touching each other's noses. A nose kiss, non lo so. Tanti, for example, Eskimos and so on, they go nose kissing.
Like, salutarsi.
Greet, they even greet one another, si salutano l'un l'altro toccandosi i nasi, can be. Okay, let's see. They greet one another by touching each other's noses. Who wants to go on?
Prairie dog families.
Sorry, Maria Pia, but number 4 is and even.
Sorry?
The number 4 is and
Number
even.
4 is greet each other. They greet each other, si salutano, toccandosi i nasi.
And
okay, sorry, Elizabeth.
Even greet one another.
Yes,
one
and
other.
even greet one another, e addirittura si salutano l'un l'altro toccandosi i rispettivi nasi.
Okay, thank you.
No problems. Sorry, Elisabetta, go.
Prairie dog families live with hundreds of, in networks of tunnels dug below. Vivono con centinaia di...
Yes, prairie dog families live with hundreds of, in networks of tunnels dug below North America's
below
grasslands.
North America's grasslands. How are prairie dogs?
So live with hundreds of, Ah, scusate, c'era la scelta sopra che scende.
Meno male.
Quindi like era quella giusta. Poi grow, number, ok. Poi abbiamo detto important, important. Poi greet. Qua, allora, watchers, others, opponents, competitors. They, dov'è qua? Prairie dog families live with hundreds of
Others.
others, hundreds of others in networks. Yes, in networks of tunnels dug below North America's grasslands.
How are prairie dogs to construct these rodent residences? The animals' sharp claws make them expert diggers. Mamma mia.
Exactly. How are prairie dogs to construct? Allora c'è ought, have, likely, able.
Wow.
How are they
able?
Able. How are prairie dogs able to construct these rodent residences? The animals' sharp claws make them expert diggers. Ok? Quindi, dov'è qui? Able. All right?
Okay.
Okay. Let's cover the answers again. Good. In part 6, you have to do the same, only you don't have the choice. You have to invent, to imagine the word. Okay? So, who wants to read it? Chi vuole leggere?
I try.
Yes, thank you.
Learning to read is quite difficult. Kids that can see. So imagine the problems blind kids have.
Quindi learning to read is quite difficult. Kids that can see.
Four
kids. Perfect, perfect. 4 kids that can see. So imagine the problems blind kids have.
Luckily for them.
Yes. Luckily for them, fortunatamente per loro, there's a system
that helps blind people read, and it's called the Braille system. With this system, people can be read by using their fingers.
Yes, exactly, by using their fingers.
Okay. The Braille system was invented by Lewis Braille, who was born okay, in 1809 in France. When he was a child, he could see perfectly, but one day, I think, one day, okay, when he was 3, he injured one of these eyes while playing with his father. Then his other eye got infected and he became blind. Okay.
Sorry, Maria, injured.
Injured, ferito, si è ferito, ha danneggiato, si è fatto male, si è ferito.
Okay.
His
thank you.
parents, however,
sent him to a normal school,
very
Mhm.
good. Mhm.
and he designed the Braille system, o Braille,
Braille credo, ma va ben tutto, è un nome.
system to help himself and other blind people to learn to read.
Exactly. Okay, very good. Learning to read is quite difficult for kids that can see. So imagine the problems blind kids have. Luckily for them, there is a system that helps blind people read, and it's called the Braille system. With this system, people can read by using their fingers. The Braille system was invented by Louis Braille, who was born in 1809 in France. When he was a child, he could see perfectly. But one day, when he was 3, he injured one of his eyes while playing with his father. Then his other eye got infected and he became blind. His parents, however, sent him to a normal school, and he designed the Braille system to help himself and other blind people to learn to read. Che sfiga, poverino, però almeno ha fatto qualcosa di utile. Right. How to turn a handicap into a great possibility, opportunity. Okay, now when we have finished part 6, we can go back to part 2. Do you remember we had skipped part 2 because it was very time demanding. And so we thought better go on with the other ones and come back here afterwards, because all the answers have the same value. They all value 1 mark. So since part 2 is a very long exercise, very time demanding, ci vuole molto tempo per farlo, better skip it. Go straight to number 3, 4, 5, 6, and then according to the time you have, you can come back and do part 2, okay? Because if you spend half of the available time on part 2, then you have no time left for parts 3, 4, 5, and 6. So it's better to skip part 2, go on with the other ones, and then come back if you have time. In part 2, in this case, we're talking about holiday destinations. There are different kind of holiday destinations, and there are 5 people who want a holiday. You have to decide which holiday is best for each of them. For example, number 1, Joe, who wants to read? Chi vuole leggere?
Who drives a taxi at night in London, loves driving and wants to visit a little village off the beaten track. Is thinking of going on a driving holiday with some friends and just stopping where they like for some pub food in a restful atmosphere.
Esatto. Beaten track, to beat, beaten, è il participio passato to beat, ok?
The beat to beat,
Quindi,
sorry Maria Pia, the beaten track, what's mean?
Come si dice in italiano, le solite strade, le strade battute da tutti.
Battuta,
insomma.
ok.
Esatto. Lui vuole andare a visitare i paesini che sono fuori dalle strade che fanno, insomma, off the beaten track. He's thinking of going on a driving holiday with some friends and just stopping where they like for some pub food in a restful atmosphere. So, possibility number 1, dive into the ocean. Desert experience. Could be.
Perhaps.
You fly to Marrakesh and then a short bus ride into the desert where you can sleep under the stars in special tents. In the morning, you race 4x4s over the dunes and taste the great food of the Middle East. This 3-day package is very well priced. I don't think it's good.
It's a B.
North Wales. This area is where does Q1 is far apart from any major cities, and you can just lose yourself in country lanes and suddenly be surprised by spectacular views. There seems to be a pub round every bend with good beer, lovely people, and fantastic local food. If you want a holiday to remember, come to North Wales by car. I think this is the best one. Okay? This is exactly what he's looking for. Okay, let's go on. Megan. Chi va a leggere?
Sì.
Megan.
Megan is from a small village near Aberdeen and would like to visit a big city, but doesn't want to spend a lot of time getting there. She wants a good hotel and a good food, but doesn't want to break the bank.
So she wants a big city, go there by plane or something quick, good hotel, good food, and cheap. Doesn't want to break the bank, means something not too expensive. Okay, so dive into the ocean, no. Desert experience, no. North Wales, no. Calais on your doorstep. Ma qua ci sono inserite le risposte, accidenti a vedere. This day trip to Calais brings all the romance of France into your front door at a price that is ridiculously cheap. You get all the culture you need in the morning, and in the afternoon, you visit one of the biggest hypermarkets in Europe before it's time to run back to the overcraft and home for dinner with lots of wonderful memories. But it's not a big city and no good hotel. Shopping plans. You fly from London to New York, lunch on the plane, and straight to the shops as soon as you land. Your limousine takes you to all the best places. And the only question is, will you survive?
Limousine, no?
No, exactly. This is for sure not cheap.
No.
Visit Antwerp, a 4-day all-inclusive break in one of the most beautiful cities in Europe. This package offers you 4-star living, full board at 2-star prices. The price also includes the 45-minute flight. This could be a possibility because 45 minutes flight is very near.
Beautiful cities
4-star
in Europe.
hotels, full board at a very reasonable price. So it could be this one. But let's read the others as well. London by night. You meet as a group after dinner at 9 p.m. in Piccadilly Circus, and your guide takes you to all the best places for after dark thrills in London. The full tour lasts 5 hours. No. Come home to Orkney. You take a short ferry ride from Aberdeen Harbour, and suddenly you arrive in Orkney. You drift along the main village, taking in the peaceful atmosphere, and now and again you stop for a quick drink, something warm. You eat a proper Scottish lunch, do some more sightseeing before it's time to return home. No, definitely she wants undress. Okay?
Yes.
Number 3, the Jordan family. Who wants to read it?
Scusa, quindi il fatto che nell'ultima che abbiamo letto arrivi da Aberdeen, questa è un inganno.
Sì, imbrogliano,
perché-
vedi? Megan is from a small village near Aberdeen. Però you take a short ferry ride from Aberdeen Harbour, qua cominciava bene la cosa. And suddenly you arrive in Orkney, you drift along the main village. She wanted a big city. In the peaceful
No, ma è perché nella fretta a volte non si sta a leggere tutto, no?
Exactly. You have to be very careful because they're very cheeky sometimes. Okay, the Jordan family. Chi vuole leggere?
The Jordan family, originally from Orkney in Scotland, needs a short day out, but money is tight. They have never been out of the UK and would love to visit Europe, but they are not sure how they will ever be able to manage that.
Okay, so short day out. Cheap. They would like to visit Europe. So let's see. Dive into the ocean now.
No.
Desert experience. But 3-day package, no. North Wales, no. Calais on your doorstep.
It could be.
Could be, but you know what? They come from Scotland, from the Orkney Island.
Ah, yes.
Dov'è qua? Ah no, originally from Orkney in Scotland. So this is not a very important piece of information because who cares where they are originally from? Okay, so yes, could be this one, Calais. This day trip to Calais brings all the romance of France into your front door at a price that is ridiculously cheap. You get all the culture you need in the morning, and in the afternoon you visit one of the biggest hypermarkets in Europe before it's time to run back to the overcraft and home for dinner with lots of wonderful memories. Okay, so this, okay. Didier, chi vuole leggere?
Is a French student from near Calais, studying in Aberdeen, who would like to see some more of Scotland. He has heard of the fantastic scenery, but doesn't like driving. He loves the sea and the wouldn't mind trying the whiskey and some local food.
Okay, so student però studying. Lo so,
student studying.
He's a student studying in Aberdeen. Fantastic scenery. La show non si scrive così in inglese, la show è SH, quindi la SC è sempre S. Science, scientist, scenery, ok?
Okay,
quindi French student from near Calais, però vedete che questa roba non ci interessa. Who cares about this? Studying in Aberdeen. Questo invece potrebbe essere interessante. Who would like to see more of Scotland? He has heard of fantastic scenery, but doesn't like driving. He loves the sea and wouldn't mind trying the whiskey and some local food. So you take a short ferry ride from Aberdeen Harbour, and suddenly you arrive in Orkney. You drift along the main village, taking in the peaceful atmosphere, and now and again you stop for a quick drink of something warm, like whiskey, for example. You eat a proper Scottish lunch, do some more sightseeing before it's time to return home. Quindi direi che quello è proprio perfetto per lui, ok? Finally,
family have been saving up and want to go somewhere special. The kids love anything to do with the sea. Unfortunately, they must be back before 11 p.m. They went to Morocco last year.
ok, c'è questo riferimento al Morocco, però non ce ne frega niente, anzi, they went to Morocco last year, maybe they don't want to go again.
Okay.
Let's read the first one, which we didn't read before. Dive into the ocean. This special experience lets you swim with dolphins and feed the seals. You're given wetsuits and you spend the in one of the biggest aquariums in Europe. A 5-star lunch is included in the package, and your ferry home sets sail at 6 p.m. It's a bit expensive, but well worth it. E questo credo che sia perfetto. I think this is perfect for them because they have been saving up, quindi hanno un po' di soldini, and wanted to go somewhere special. The kids love anything to do with the sea, so they will be, you know, extraordinarily happy to feed the seas and swim with the what was it? With the swim with the dolphins and feed the seal. Oh, dov'è qua? Unfortunately, they must be back before 11 p.m., but the boat comes back at 6, so it's okay. Okay, so 5A. Okay?
Yes.
Let's check. 1C. Joe, North Wales. 2F. Visit Antwerp, yes. Megan. 3, the Jordan family. D, Calais. Poi cosa c'era? 4H. 4 Didier, okay. H, the Orkney Islands. And finally 5A. Okay, all right. Okay, so this is it. The first part will be a series of signs, text messages, emails, and you have to choose the correct answer A, B, or C. Be very, very careful because these are really very tricky. There is always some word which is taken from the message. And so if you don't think about it carefully, you say, oh, that's what it says. And it isn't, okay? That's part 1. Part 2, skip it for the moment. Go straight to part 3. Because part 2 is very time demanding. So skip it, go to part 3. Part 3 is a text to read with answers to answers to choose between A, B, C, and D. But the good news is that the answers are in order. So you can read the first part and then reply to the first question. Then read the second paragraph and look at the second question. Then read the third paragraph and go to the third question, which is much easier, you know. And finally, read the fourth paragraph and go to the fourth question. The fifth question is something about a good introduction or a good title for the text. So you have to, you know, remember more or less what's it about and decide what the perfect title or the perfect introduction could be. Part 4, there's a text and you have to put in, to insert some sentences which are given to the end, at the end. To understand the proper sentence, not all the sentences are to be used, only 5 of them. You are given 8 sentences, but you only need 5. So don't worry if there are extra ones left, it's okay. And to understand properly, don't simply stop when you see Q1, but also read the sentence after, because the sentence you insert, you put in, must be a connective sentence between the last sentence and the first one of the other paragraph. Maybe at the end you can read it all over again and check if what you have put in makes sense or if it's something which sounds wrong. In part 5, you must insert the correct word between 4 which are given to you, A, B, C, or D. You have to choose the correct one. And in part 6, you have to put the correct word in. You are not given a choice. You simply have to, you know, put in what's correct for you. Then you go back to part 2 and read. The person, don't read all this because it's not useful. First read the first person, what he or she wants, what they want. Then, keeping in mind what they want, you start reading the possible combinations, matches. Okay? Be careful because usually the first sentence is a trick to, you know, something you don't really need, and on the contrary, confuses you. So you don't care what job Joe does. You don't care he drives a taxi at night in London. This is not a useful piece of information. What you care is he loves driving, wants to visit little villages, and so on. The fact that Megan is from a small village near Aberdeen is not important. The fact that the Jordan family is originally from Orkney in Scotland is not important. The fact that Didier is a French student from near Calais is not important. The fact that the Cole family, went to Morocco last year, that's not important, okay?
Yes.
So be careful because there are extra information which you don't need. Right. Okay, any question? No questions? Have you all signed the presents? Now, for those of you who want to come tomorrow, sorry, I have written it on the email. Tomorrow we will start at 5:30, not 5 to 7, 5:30 to 7:30, because I'm busy before and there's nothing I can do about it, so I won't be available before 5:30. So if you want to come tomorrow, we are starting at 5:30. Exceptionally,
Yes, Maria.
only for this
Hey,
time.
Okay.
I read
Only
the
for
mail.
this time. Okay. Also,
Yes.
I have written an email to you because I realized that some of you signed the presents on both B1A and B1B, for example, but they applied only for example, B1A. Now, you need to fill in the application form for all the classes you want the certificate for. So if you want the certificate for both B1A and B1B, make sure you subscribed to both courses because it's all automatic. The computer takes, for example, the inscriptions on B1A and checks the presences. And then it takes the inscriptions, the applications on B1B. And if you are not among the list of people joining the course because your application was only for B1A, you won't get any certification. Okay? So
Okay.
is that clear? Shall I say it in Italian? Vi ho mandato una email perché mi sono resa conto che molti firmano la presenza per dei corsi a cui non si sono iscritti. Per esempio, se vi siete iscritti al B1A e poi frequentate anche il B1B, le frequenze del B1B sono tutte perse se non c'è la vostra iscrizione, perché è una cosa automatica fatta dal computer. Il computer prende le persone che sono iscritte in un corso e calcola le presenze di quel corso. Le presenze di persone che non sono iscritte non vengono prese in considerazione. Quindi,
Maria Pia, I don't remember
se non vi ricordate, se vi siete iscritti al B1A, B1B o a tutte e due, ripetete l'iscrizione. Al massimo quello che vi succede è che vi arriveranno 2 certificati. Ok? Quindi purtroppo il computer non si ragiona. Quindi se non siete sicuri di esservi iscritti a tutte e due o a tutti i corsi che state seguendo, ripetete piuttosto l'iscrizione, ok? In modo di essere sicuri di avere il certificato, perché magari
Ma dove? Nella mail?
Vai nella pagina dove ci sono anche tutti i video da guardare, lì c'è anche il modulo per iscriversi per la presenza.
Europole deve andare.
E quindi è retroattiva, va all'indietro.
Quello non ha importanza, basta che siate iscritti, il computer fa il conteggio delle presenze, quindi non c'è problema per quello.
Sì, però prima hai detto che se uno vuole un unico certificato...
quello deve fare la domanda, deve chiederlo, se vuole unire le lezioni B1A, B1B in un unico certificato deve chiederlo. Se no, bye Anna Maria, have a good evening, bye. Se no, gli arrivano bye Milena.
Io più che altro
se no gli arrivano comunque 2 certificati, tipo se hai fatto...
Io più che altro per il B2, perché nel B2 sì sono iscritta.
Ok.
Il B1 non mi ricordo che cosa gruppo A, B, non mi ricordo.
Ripeti allora l'iscrizione del B1A. B1 metti tutte e due, A e B.
Perché io, cioè, sto facendo il martedì e il mercoledì, ma qualche volta mi sa che ho fatto anche il lunedì. Ah.
No, lunedì non c'è lezione.
Ah, lunedì no. Ah, ok.
No, lunedì no. Comunque...
E allora sempre martedì e mercoledì. Però
sì,
non so,
esatto.
il gruppo non lo so perché ogni settimana io... Quindi devo iscrivermi a
Ripeti
tutte e due.
l'iscrizione. Se sei nel dubbio, ripeti l'iscrizione.
Mi iscrivo a tutti allora.
Iscriviti a tutti.
Perché non mi
Poi vi
ricordo.
ricordo che il certificato comunque viene rilasciato se avete fatto almeno il 75% delle presenze, ok? Quindi io è anche il motivo per cui vi ho rimesso tutti i link per firmare
alla
la
fine
presenza.
io ho mancato, vabbè, mercoledì scorso che avevo
Ma
la
non ha importanza
riunione.
perché te la puoi guardare a casa la lezione
Sì.
registrata e segnare comunque la presenza. Ecco.
Ok,
va bene. Ok,
grazie.
Bye.
Ciao.
Bye.
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 Ciao. Ciao.
Thank you, Maria Pia.